Hey guys, my name's Damien. I'm known as Damned on the forums. Today I'm going to give you a bit of a quick overview of the Barbarians of Lemuria rule set. So the Barbarians of Lemuria was a bit of a rules-lite, Conan-esque RPG, and it was kickstarted a couple of years ago by Filigree Forge and made by Simon Washbourne. And we've done a fairly rules-lite rule set for Fantasy Grounds. So I'll give you a quick overview of what it includes. We'll go into here and check the library. We've got the rule set and creatures, and we've also got some modules or some mini adventures. Everything here comes straight from the Kickstarter kit. So we're going to start here with the reference manual, and you can see here it's a full color reference manual. It includes all the content from the PDF or from the hardcover book, depending on what you backed, and it also includes, a bit of layout, design, and things like that. You can see in some of these sections. One here we've got the example ships, so we've got the various different ship sizes and some images from the book. So we've got the basic reference manual, which pretty much contains all the content from the PDF. You can see in here the core rules of the Barbarians of Lemuria rule set. So you roll 2d6, giving you a number between 2 and 12. You add an appropriate attribute. If fighting, add an appropriate combat ability. If not fighting, add the rank of an appropriate career. Add any other situational modifiers. If you get a 9 or more, you succeed. An 8 or less, you fail. Double 6 is always a success, and a double 1 is always a failure. That's the core mechanic. We might grab that and drag it down here, so we've got that available to us later on. We've got a fairly in-depth manual here. It's a couple of 100 pages long. You can see here all the graphics from the PDF are also included in here, or very close to all of them. It doesn't have a lot of images in the rule book, but we've included most of them here. We've also got weapons. You can see here everything uses a D6, although there's a few variations of that. D6 low means roll 2d6, keep the lowest. D6 high is roll 2d6, keep the highest. And we also there's a couple of them that use a D3. So roll a D6, a 1 and a 2 is 1, 3 and a 4 is 2, and a 5 or a 6 is 3. We've got boons. These boons give you bonus die when you're rolling. If you're able to incorporate an appropriate boon in the story, in the narration, when you're rolling that skill check, you get to roll an extra die. And of course, to keep things interesting, if you add a flaw, you roll an extra dice, but you drop the highest result. Careers, all characters will have one or more careers, and these careers will also give you advantages. You get to add these into your dice roll wherever it makes sense to the story. And we've got a bunch of pre-gen characters. These are straight out of the PDF as well. We can see here Pelham Palm. Okay, to add these into the game, you simply click the plus sign, and see down here it's recording it in the chat window. These are being added to the character window. You can see here. So we've got the 4 characters that we've added just here. Let's have a look at Pelham Param. He's from Urseb. His attributes: strength of 1, agility 2, appeal of 1. You can see some other things here. His weapons of choice are the mace and the dagger. He wears heavy armor. His flaws: he's hunted by the Witch Queen. However, he's also artistic and carries a trademark weapon, being his mace. These are the careers he's got. So if he was making a roll, let's check out our simple rolls. Go down right to the bottom of this page, the task roll. So in combat, he would choose a weapon. We'll do the mace, melee, and agility. 3, 3 plus 3 and 9 records a success here. So we'll come back and we'll do that roll again. We're going to try, he's going to try and do an artistic performance to impress somebody. So he's going to get the boon artistic. Doesn't really have a career here that's appropriate, but for the sake of demonstrating this roll, we're going to click the alchemist and we're going to roll on appeal. What we see is 3 dice were rolled. The extra dice was for the boon. The career gave a +1 and his appeal provided a +1. So 5 plus 4 plus 2, 11. We get a basic roll of a success. The Behemothon, which is the largest sea monster known. It's a colossal squid-like beast. You can see here a bit of information about how it rolls, how it works. It's got a massive strength of 18, attacks with its giant tentacles. So if this is going to do an attack on you, rolling here, straight away we just roll the giant tentacle, and you can see here the attack is a 0 bonus, so it's just going to roll these to see if it hits or misses. Massive amount of hit points. Another one may be the cave bear. Okay, it's got an attack of 2. When we roll this one, the ripping claws, we can see the ripping claws plus the attack bonus was added in automatically. Still a failure because he didn't get a 9 or higher. Again, they got images and descriptions on the NPC sheet. And finally, we have the Sagas of Lemuria, which is a series of short adventures. We start with story, Lemuria the Gladiator. We can see here in the story all of the information here about what could and couldn't happen. We've got next buttons for opening up the next one. We've got an encounter here with the prison guards. So this will automatically place them on the map. Let's try that. We go into the combat tracker here. If we double click on one of these guards, it'll open up the map automatically for us. Let's scale this map down a little bit. So it fits on. Now we can see that our guards have all shown up here, but they are not visible just yet because the GM hasn't made them visible. 1, 2, 3, 4 guards. You see the map has got pins on it, so we can see the different story entries. There's a bunch of short adventures here, just 3 pages. For Adventure 1, Adventure 2 is a similar 3 pages. Adventure 3, 2 pages. You can see here Lemuria and the Thieves of Malakut. Next story. We've got the NPC, Demaya. Some notes about her. She was a member of the Jemadar Guard. And next story, we can see here, we've got the Thrashing Pode, which is an inn. You can see there's a number of pins here as well, the Ragged Knaves, the Underworld, and the Ragged Knaves again, an encounter. Everything's pre-gridded, so when your tokens appear on the map, they will scale properly. So these are all pretty simple, short adventures. Now, let's add our NPCs, our PC. We'll put Jandar and Melina into the combat tracker, and we can see that the attack rolls for our NPCs all show up in here. And as we saw earlier, the attack rolls will automatically choose the right attribute based on whether they're a melee attack or a ranged attack. The PCs don't have their attacks listed in the combat tracker, which is pretty normal for Fantasy Grounds. The players will usually do their attacks from the character sheet directly. There we go. We've got our characters in there. Now, we're going to have a very basic couple of combat rolls. We can see that the rabble or the NPCs have already got their default initiative. Let's get Jamdar to roll his initiative, as well as Melina. and by default PCs will end up with a higher initiative, which is a lower number. In this, the lowest number goes first. So Jandar is our first actor, and Jandar is going to do an attack on one of these guards. We can use the targeting system here, targeting the guard, and he's going to use, we're going to use his bow. So you can see here that the bow is a two-handed weapon and it's a ranged weapon. So tick the bow. We don't have any careers or boons that are appropriate here, but it's a ranged attack, and we'll double click the agility. 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, and we can see that the guard number 1's defense is 0, so our roll is a success. What we do then is roll damage. Now the reason some of these things are not fully automated is that the GM has a fair amount of fiat in this game. They can bump up rolls. The player can also expend hero points or fate points to change a roll. So these things happen after the roll is done and before the result is applied. So he's going to roll some damage now. You can see here that to roll damage, we roll a success, we roll the damage. We can see that Jandar does damage 6 against guard number 1. We drag the damage onto the lifeblood, and again there's a degree of GM and player here where the outcome of a roll can be modified before it's applied. So this guard is dead or dying. It can be removed from the combat tracker. We'll skip over Melina's turn and we'll go to guard number 2. Guard number 2 has got a melee attack, and he's going to attack at Jandar, and we can see here sword. We double click the sword attack. It rolls a 4 plus 3. Now he's got a -2 for Jandar Joth's defense. So we can see here Jandar Joth has a defense of 2, so it's subtracted a 2 from the guard's attack, meaning that the guard has missed. Go along to the second guard, who will also attack our good friend Jandar Joth. Another sword. 6, it's a miss. Last guard here, we'll do something different. We'll attack Melina, see if we get a better result here. No, it's a miss. So let's roll a couple more of these until we get an attack, and a successful attack. Here we go. 6 plus 4 is 10, minus 1 for Melina's defense. We get a success. So we'll then roll damage. Damage of 3. It's a 1d3, and we'll drag that onto Melina's lifeblood, and her armor gives her 1d3 damage reduction, and she rolled a through. Melina got 1 minus 2 minus 1. Let's see how that was come up with. So it's a dice here, so it's a -2 if you're choosing the default method of, the static method of damage reduction, or it's rolling a 1d6 minus 2 for the optional variable damage reduction. You can see here in options that the only options we've got here is armor being static or dice reduction, and the decal image. Everything else is pretty much core RPG based. Now magic, we'll do a quick look at magic. We can see here that with these careers, if you have various careers such as magician or priest, it will automatically add some spell points here for you. Now in this case, magician level 1, we get spell points of 11 added in, And magic is quite variable. There is no set book of spells. The spells are based on what you come up with and how you negotiate it with the GM. Now if we're going to, as an example, we've got a fire path spell. It's a first level spell, but spellcasting is much less prevalent in Barbarians of Lemuria. It's far more a swords driven than sorcery driven rule set. Spellcasting is done most effectively when a long time is taken to prepare the spells. So we're going to cast this spell during our hour of power. We're going to take an extended period of time to cast the spell. This is reducing the cost here, and we're going to use some intimate materials in its construction. So it's a first level spell here. Our spells refresh at noon. Our mind value of 1 and our magician rank of 1 will help here. So we can roll this now. You can see Shangara Vumis casts Fire Path. It's mind +1, magician +1, 6 + 3 + 2 is 11, and it's a success. And it cost us 3 points, 3 magic points or arcane points to cast that spell. If you wanted to create a more powerful spell, a windstorm, we're going to change this to a second level spell. We're going to select that spell here. We're going to choose we're going to use a special item, and we're going to cast it at midnight, and we are going to take enough time to cast the spell. That's going to use the rest of our arcane magic spells up, and let's roll to see how we succeed, how we go. Again, a nice roll, rolling a 10, mind +1, tough -2 because of the level of spell it is. Magician +1, it's a success, but that's the last of our arcane points having been used up. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the Barbarians of Lemuria rule set. If you have any questions, find us on the forums, damned, and fire away. Always happy to help. Thank you for watching.